So I want to talk a little bit about the ethers. I'm learning as I go, but I feel like the ethers have become a big problem for humanity. I think the ethers is what really caused the holographic world. The ethers is what caused humanity to de-evolve to no longer even being a human anyway. They just think they're alive, but people have been robots a long time, but now it's just getting to a point where they will be completely closed off from any chance of reaching their true self. Okay? Some people, a lot of us have been dealing with this type of electronic harassment for a little bit too long. And I've come to the point where this right here is completely against nature. This right here is completely against nature. I think it's the holographic world. I think it's all of this right here is what's causing so much happening with nature. So much going on with the animals, so much going on with other stuff. This whole construct is completely against nature. I guess it took for me to get fed up before I can really see that this whole thing is a doggone problem. And you know what? You can't think about nobody else. You can't really think about nobody else because you don't know who's real and who's not real anyway. You know, I'll say this. It's time for the whole construct to come on down. It's time for the whole construct to come on down. Some of us have been harassed for too long with this thing. Now they're getting to a point where this doggone COVID-19, this AI, is going to take over everybody. Especially mostly people that's in areas of Wi-Fi. It's going to take up. It's going to take over everybody. That's why they wanted to get a certain percentage of people to get the you know what. It didn't matter if 100% they want to get it. They wanted to get a certain percentage in some cities. Okay? Because if you got a certain percentage that's the majority of the consciousness of that area. And it doesn't matter who didn't get it. If you stay in that area where majority of the consciousness agrees to that type of stuff, it doesn't even matter what you try to do. Whatever you try to do, it's going to be really hard. Whatever you try to do, it's going to be extremely hard in that area. But, so I can't think about the people anymore. It's time for the whole thing to come down. I mean, I've seen many visions where a lot of people are just Frankenstein. I just keep seeing visions of Frankenstein. That's what people are, Frankenstein. They don't know they're Frankenstein because they feel like they got emotions. They still, feel like they got some kind of morals about themselves. But the thing is that those kind of things are taught anyway. That's learned behavior anyway. Because you go in some areas, some of the morals they have and some of the ways they do things, it's not the way other people in other cultures might do it. So what they want to call morals and think they so human because they got these different morals, it's just learned behavior. Okay? But there was a time where the world was not holographic. Right now it's holographic and it's completely against nature. And it's completely against people. It's against people. It's against humans. I mean, I'm not a big fan of humanity, but look at the type of humanity I've been witnessing for the last, this kind of humanity I've been looking at is a bunch of robots anyway. They can mind control. They're not even using their real organic consciousness anyway. So this is not humanity that I've been talking about anyway. This is a bunch of mind control bots. That's what we see as people, a bunch of mind controlled bots. Okay? That's not humanity. That's not humanity. But it's time for the construct to come down. I'm a little sick of it. I've been lost my patience. You just got to get to where you get your fucking power back because we gave all our power away to fucking technology. I don't want to be around too much technology any longer. The highest consciousness was probably around the 1800s. How much technology was around that time? That means but people were higher in consciousness, that means the people were more organic. They were more organic. It was still a matrix, but it wasn't really like it is now. Like, it wasn't like it is now. It was more of an organic type of consciousness. And it wasn't as many lies being told. People still were familiar with who they were. They still knew things. They still, so all of this mixing up and lies going on, and people confused about what is what, and people arguing about what is what. Labeling each other by categories, calling each other names by these categories, and putting people in these different type of, dividing people and putting the status of who's at the bottom, who's at the top. These are people are mind-controlled bots right now. They're not humanity. They're mind-controlled bots. So I'd rather, the thing needs to go. It needs to go. It just needs to go. Everybody don't have to agree with it either, because everybody ain't original. Everybody ain't real. And even if a person came from the matrix state, some of them still come from an organic consciousness where they can get rid of this shit right here. Some of us was created before this whole thing, the matrix, even came into place. But some of them was created inside of it they still had a more of an organic type of consciousness, like in the 1800s when it was around. It was still a more of an organic consciousness without all this stuff going on. Okay? So, and you had a better chance of moving up. Okay? Right now, it's like they're making sure you don't go nowhere. And I see it all the time where there's people in military guarding. It's like they're guarding the door to make sure folks don't ascend out of here. They're trying to make sure spiritually, consciously, you do not ascend out. I see them all the time. Not with my physical eyes. I don't see them, of course. And you know why I always see them? It look like it's surrounded by a bunch of snow. I swear, sometimes I wonder if this is Area 51. Okay, sometimes people look for Area 51. I wonder if we in it. I wonder if we're in it. Okay? But, yeah. That's all I really got to say. I'm just losing my patience with it. I've been dealing with these problems with these ethers for too long. I don't care for the ethers. Because the more and more, I learn about the ethers, the more and more I learn that it is anti-nature. It is anti-people, it's anti-human, it's anti-anything organic. It's anti. The more and more, I could be wrong, I'm still trying to learn, but that's what I'm getting about the ethers. Because there's too much cruel stuff that's going on in these ethers. Okay, it might not be happening to everybody, but oh well, because the people that it is happening to, they're not able to talk to nobody about it. So they shouldn't be considering nobody else. If they decide they're going to tear this whole thing down and advance up out of it, whoever left, if they're just going to be gone, that's just it. Because nobody's supporting them while they're going through the bullshit dealing with these harassment from the ethers. Okay? So anyway, that's it, and I'll talk later.